Hey there guys, thanks for tuning in. So today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to be doing a focus, a highlight, spotlight on one of my favorite exercises, that being the bodyweight row. And I'm going to talk to you about why it's something that I think belongs in everybody's arsenal, in everybody's routine, but it doesn't really get the love that it deserves. So basically, the bodyweight row is an exercise that involves lying underneath something that's raised slightly off the ground, holding onto it with your arms, keeping your heels on the ground, torso rigid, and then pulling your upper body up towards the bar or the gymnastics rings or whatever else that you've chosen to use. This is sometimes also called a inverted push-up. The reason being, of course, that it is literally like a push-up but upside down. You're pulling yourself up instead of down, but you're using the same kind of 70% of your own body weight, pulling up just that upper part of your torso. This right away is one of the things that makes it so useful. It's the perfect counter to the push-up. If you're doing lots and lots of push-ups, then you can also incorporate lots and lots of bodyweight rows, and that's going to do wonders for you. It's going to balance out your physique nicely because you can do a lot more bodyweight rows than you can do pull-ups or chin-ups. And this is also another reason it's so useful, because a lot of people actually can't do a single pull-up or a single chin-up, and this is a fantastic progression towards that. So if you can't do a pull-up, then you can just do half of a pull-up by performing a bodyweight row. There's also plenty of variations to make it even easier. For example, you can stand up in front of a wall, hold on to something that's attached to the wall, say maybe a rope that's connected to a door handle, and then lean back and pull yourself towards it, so you're using less resistance. And if you find it too easy, conversely, you can raise your legs onto something higher up, and that way make the movement more difficult. This also works perfectly as a mechanical drop set for the pull-up or chin-up, so you can perform as many pull-ups or chin-ups as you can, and as soon as you can't perform a single rep more, you drop down to the bodyweight row and continue. Oh, and you also don't need much in the way of equipment. If you've just got a big heavy table, you can hang on to the bottom of that and perform bodyweight rows there. A fantastic way to train your lats and your biceps if you don't have access to dumbbells or a chin-up bar. And again, you'd be surprised how many people ask me about that. You can also use, as I've said, gymnastics rings if you want to add a stability factor. I like using my dip bars, which I keep right behind my desk and I perform in between work. You can also do it with two sticks holding onto either of them on either side. You can wrap a towel around a pull-up bar. There's so many ways to do this exercise. It's something that I really think that pretty much everyone has access to, which you can't say about most exercises. If you're in the gym, then just set the bar low in the squat rack and you can use that to hold on to instead. And that also allows you to adjust the height really nicely. All that's great, but it's not the real reason that I love the bodyweight row. The great thing about the bodyweight row, first of all, is that it is a horizontal pulling movement. And that's something that we don't get enough of in the gym, in my opinion, and especially if you're training predominantly with calisthenics. You've got lots of vertical pulling motions, but not many horizontal ones pulling in towards your torso. This is a useful movement that we use in real life, whether it's opening a door or pulling a rope in a tug of war, and so it's something that's useful to train as well. At the same time though, the real power of this movement comes from the fact that it's also a fantastic core strength and core stability exercise. So lots of people do tons and tons of plank. They'll stay in plank position for minutes at a time trying to train their core. And this is useful because it trains your core endurance, which is something missing from a lot of people. The important thing with your core is it needs to work all throughout the day to keep you upright, and as that gets tired, you start to introduce the possibility of injury. So it is useful to train in that manner, but the problem with the plank, as other people have pointed out, is not only that it's relatively very easy and you don't get that much bang for your buck, but also that you're training anti-extension. That, in other words, you're using the rectus abdomini, the muscle on the front of your stomach, to curl yourself inwards to prevent your body from bending that away. And the problem with that is not that it's unimportant, but rather that it's something that we already get an awful lot of already, particularly if you do lots of push-ups where you're already in that position. So what's the point of doing loads of push-ups and then doing plank? We're essentially holding the same position with your torso. Seeing as we sit in a hunched position all day, seeing as we do tons of crunches and not so many back extension exercises, we don't actually need more strength that way. We need anti-flexion if we're going to avoid injuries, particularly in the lower back. And this is where the magic of the bodyweight row comes in, because when you're in this position and your heels are touching the ground, you're preventing your body from contorting that way, the opposite direction. Once again, this makes it the perfect counterbalance that you can use to strengthen the back of your torso, the back of your core, your erector spinae, in order to make sure that they have the strength endurance to keep you upright throughout the day so you don't hurt yourself when you bend over to pick something up. And because you're doing rows, you're also getting the lat workout and the biceps workout and the traps, so you're getting loads of bang for your buck. You're just sneaking in a fantastic core stability exercise in there that will improve your athleticism and your resilience to injury. Of course, this doesn't work as well with the front lever, which you'd think would be the perfect, harder progression from the bodyweight row. But when you lift your legs off the ground, then suddenly it once again becomes anti-extension, because now you're fighting gravity, which is pulling your legs back down towards the ground. So even if you can do front lever, it doesn't replace the bodyweight row. You should still be doing the bodyweight row. And that's not all. The other great thing about the bodyweight row is it allows you to practice your scapular retraction. That means pulling the shoulder blades backwards like that. And what you don't want to do when you're in the bottom of the movement is just let them sag like so. I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world, but this is a fantastic opportunity to train something that has loads of transfer to other movements like the front lever, because in the front lever you need to keep those scapula pulled backwards so that you can keep yourself nice and rigid and not flop about and fail to hold the position. So this is a great way to build up the strength you need for more advanced movements. And likewise, this is something that a lot of people have forgotten how to do simply because they don't move their shoulder blades all that much. And by training this, you'll unlock additional strength and performance and mobility that you otherwise might have lost. So another fantastic reason to practice this. And you can also just hold yourself in position like that. For extra credit, if you want to make it even more difficult, then you can also try using one arm and adding a rotation. A one arm bodyweight row with rotation, pulling yourself up and twisting to touch the air as you go. And the reason that this is so useful is because this is a movement pattern, once again, that we use a lot in real life. Whether you're opening a door, like I say, whether you're pulling anything else towards you, whether you're wrestling, you don't tend to just pull with a static torso, you tend to pull and twist at the same time. Alternatively, you can try doing this whilst keeping your torso rigid, which makes it a fantastic anti-rotation movement. Once again, brilliant for core stability. So there's so many aspects to this movement. It's so easy, anyone can do it, but I never see anyone doing it. So there you go. Try incorporating bodyweight rows into your routine. I hope you found this video useful and interesting. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do more like this, where I discuss a particular movement. And if you would, I have lots more options available. I've got lots more on the way, all the usual stuff. I'm going to be talking about Saitama, One Punch Man training very soon, and the mind-muscle connection. So if that sounds good, then subscribe and stick around. Of course, I've got a book that's available for pre-order right now called Functional Training and Beyond, which talks about concepts like this, the functional aspects of training and how to make your training more functional than it currently is. If you're following a kind of bro split or a powerlifting routine, this is the stuff that will help you to perform better and avoid injury and be stronger in your day-to-day life. So if that sounds cool, then pre-order that. Alternatively, I also have my own ebook and training program, Super Functional Training, that takes a lot of these concepts and builds them into a single program that you can follow, that trains your body and mind, your mobility and your speed, your strength and your power. So if all that sounds great, then that's also in the link in the description down below. Thanks so much for watching this one, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks a ton for watching. Bye for now.